Let's face it, everyone's trying to save money today on gardening. So I'm going to show you 3 easy ways to get 10, probably even more, smaller tomato plants from this one plant. I spent $19.98 for this plant from Home Depot. I probably would have found a bigger plant like this for a lot cheaper if I'd looked around. But we're going to propagate some of the smaller branches from this plant and still be able to grow this plant, and we're going to end up with 10, probably even 12 plants from it. So let's get going. I'll show you how to save. So the first step is to take this cage off. If you look really close at this plant, you're going to see that there's a lot of branches coming out of it. And let's use this one here as an example. You can see here's the main stem, and it breaks off into 3. This branch in the middle is what they call a sucker branch, and these are what's going to make really great plants to be able to grow. Before we do this, you want to make sure you have really clean scissors or a knife to use. So I'm using these scissors here, and I'm going to sterilize the blade by putting some 91% alcohol on there. There we go. And let's look down a little further and look at some of the other branches. Can you see right over here? This branch right here, this is the main stem. There's the regular branch, so this is the dummy branch right here. So we're going to snip that right in half, right off. Okay, so there's the first plant, and we're going to put that in water. Now we don't need these lower branches. We're going to put that in water right over there. And here's another one right here, main stem right in the middle. Let's see, got that off there. I'm going to get that bottom branch off. We're going to put that in the water over there. Now you don't want to take too many right away. We're going to leave some on this plant so we can do them later. This one's a little smaller, so I'm going to leave it for later. This is a good size one. I'm probably going to leave all those branches on because I don't want to cut down too far. Put that down there. Coming up here, let's see. Here's a nice one right here. The main branch and the sucker branch. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you how you can make this branch, this is a main branch, okay, a separate plant also, but I'm not going to cut it. You see how this tomato's already growing on the plant, and there's flowers way up here. I don't know if you can see them. There's flowers up here. Whoa, look at that, how tall that plant is. Okay, so we have flowers here. Let me turn that around. We have flowers growing over here. We have tomatoes growing over here, and that's on the main branch. Now also, we're going to start getting these growing on here. Now, I don't want to hinder any of the tomato growth. So, by doing what I'm going to do on this branch, we're going to be able to grow it and propagate it all at the same time. The way to do that is by using some Reynolds wrap. So this is the branch we want to propagate right here, so we don't want to hurt it. So I'm going to take a little bit of, oops, supposed to be Reynolds wrap, the plastic wrap, not the aluminum foil. Hold on. There we go, I got the cling wrap. You do not want aluminum foil. Now what I'm going to do is put a ball of dirt right over here, and we're going to wrap it with cling wrap, hopefully. This stuff, to me, is one of the most miserable things to work with in the kitchen. Let's see if I can unroll enough of it. Okay. And I always have a hard time cutting this and letting it stay open. This was no different than any other time. Okay, so what I have here is the cling wrap. Inside the cling wrap, I'm going to put a big pile of nice moist dirt. So you need some nice moist dirt, and what I'm going to do is open the cling wrap up a bit. I'm going to wrap that, if you could see, right around the stem. I'm just going to do it and then show you when it's just done. Okay, right around the stem, trying not to hurt the other plant. There we go. Wrap that up. Wrap that up. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put some tape on it just to make sure it stays sealed. Don't tape the tomato plant. There we go. And I'm going to put it right down here so it's sitting there. So what's going to happen now, of course I'm going to put the cage back on it so it can hold the plant up. What's going to happen is, if you look at the stem of the plant anywhere, you see this furry stuff. Let me show you really close. Can you see the little furry things along the plant? All those are future roots. So if you, like, we're going to be putting this in the water to propagate, and those are going to turn into roots, however much is in the water. I'm also going to plant some of these, and the roots are going to grow from here. And this, it's the same thing as if I just took some dirt like this, okay, and put my plant in like that. Now it's going to start growing roots down there as long as I keep it moist, and eventually it's going to root and continue to grow. So I've done the exact same thing with this, but once it's done, all I need to do, because I'll see the roots, you'll see the white roots coming to the edge. You just come over here and snip the plant, take the paper off, and plant it. It's already started to grow, and by then it probably will have already flowered, like you see here, and started growing tomatoes. So you're not losing any time doing this, whereas planting them this way, you're probably going to lose about a week's worth of growth. So that's how we're going to do that. And with these other ones, I'm going to leave a few of them right in the water, and I'm going to take some of them like these right here and plant them. So that one's all planted, got to keep it moist. And this is a self-waterer that I made. And the same thing with this. I'm going to put one in here for the, oops, I'm going to make that a smaller one. I'm going to put this one here for the self-waterer. And what you would do with this is, you would just make sure there is water on the bottom. And what I did is I put a hole in the cap and a little piece of cotton cloth. And the cotton cloth comes, probably a few inches about up to here in the soil. And that's going to keep on wicking water up there and take the water that it needs. So this here is actually a self-watering plant. So like I said, there's the 3 ways to propagate. Number 1 is in soil, like you see with these right here. And they're going to grow along those little furry things, and the roots are going to come out. Number 2 is just to leave them in water. It'll take about a week or so, but you'll see all the little filaments getting long and roots. Then you can plant those in soil. And number 3 is to make the root ball over here. And when the roots get all filled up, you just snip it off right there and take off the paper, of course, and you plant it. And that way you didn't lose any time. And by then there'll probably be tomatoes and flowers on this one. Now, if you remember, I told you we were going to get close to 10 or more plants. Let me show you how we're going to do that. So far we have 1 with the main plant, 2 with the one that's growing here. We have 3, 4, 5, and 6. So where's the others? Well, we didn't want to take too much off the plant at once to shock it. And a lot of the newer plants that we're going to cut off are going to be long enough or bigger in about another week or 2. So we left them for the time being. So here they are. If you look down here in the bottom, there's another, there's the main stem, there's a side stem, there's a sucker there. So that's going to be number 7.
Yeah.
Then over here, there's another one, that's going to be number 8. We'll have to wait probably another week or so to get that done long enough. And if you go up higher, there's number 9, going right in between here. It's hard to videotape this because the plant keeps on moving. And then kind of going up higher and higher. That's 9. This is going to be number 10. It might take a few weeks. This is going to be number 11 right here. And this is going to be number 12 right here. And up here right at the tippy top, number 13. So as you can see, we're getting 13 plants from one plant that cost me about $20. What a great way to save money. So they're less than $2 each. Now, like I said, I found this at Home Depot, and that was the first place I went to check. But as the season gets closer, you're going to find a lot cheaper ones, probably at Walmart. Market Basket has things like this for about $8, which is our grocery store. So there's a lot of places that want to be competitive. So with creative shopping, you can probably get these down to $1 a piece. So I hope that gives you some ideas on how you can save money and not even miss a trick with the live propagating right there. So with that, share this with your friends and your family, anyone you know who gardens. They'll really appreciate that you did. They'll probably even give you some tomatoes. Don't forget to subscribe to see more crazy things like this coming up, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye now. So you're gonna give me some more? Oh, you're really pretty. Come on, right now, grow, grow, grow.
You're scaring the plant.
Sorry.